Right now on Fox 35 News at 5.
We're hearing, you can see the debris flying there on the camera. This is a tornado. Get under your desks, guys. Anchors under the desks. Everybody get on the desks.
A rare EF2 tornado hits Fox 35, Longwood, and Lake Mary, live on the air.
That's a tornado. This is a confirmed tornado.
The tornado lasting only a couple of minutes, but the damage
Windows started breaking.
is going to take much longer to clean up.
A lot of shingles in their backyards.
Pieces of homes scattered in people's yards.
The house actually felt like it was rumbling.
Left standing.
February is the peak tornado for Central Florida.
Fox 35 is live with team coverage after.
That EF2 tornado hit Seminole County. It's the most powerful tornado to hit this area in about 3 decades. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Brown.
And I'm Marlisa Goldsmith. The winds hit speeds of 115 miles per hour as it just ripped apart several homes. We have live team coverage of this tornado tonight from here at the station where we by the storm this morning to live in Longwood where the homes. We've been tonight Fox 35 storm team meteorologist. Noah, you are in that neighborhood right after the storm moved out.
Yeah, you know, Marlisa, one thing about here is that there's plenty of destruction, but there's no death. As bad as the destruction is, nobody was seriously injured. Nobody was killed. And any time we can report on a tornado like this, that is the one good news that comes from this. You can see over my shoulder, the damage is extensive. This is a very rare tornado. In fact, it's the first strong tornado in Seminole or Orange County since the historic 1998 outbreak. Kelly is joining me now. Kelly, you're the homeowner here. You were here this morning. Can you just try to put into words the first thing you remember about a noise or anything that you heard as it was coming through?
As it was coming through, I just heard a lot of banging, which I assume was just stuff going up against the back of the house.
Yeah.
And then I heard that that freight train sound that they talk about that you hear. It's undescribable, and it's something I don't hope anybody has to hear because it was a really, really scary sound.
So you were telling me off camera before, inside you had a tree or two come through the kitchen.
Yeah.
But largely inside is pretty okay. It's your backyard if you want to take a walk and we'll show everybody.
Yeah.
The trees down are just everywhere around this neighborhood. And you said you had a fence all the way through the backyard?
Yeah, so this backyard was completely fenced in. A white fence along here that you can see is pretty much gone. Well, it's gone. And then a black wrought iron fence all the way around that's just kind of bent and mangled with all the trees falling on it. And then we have our neighbor's roof from his shed is back here.
Yep.
There's some debris under it as well. We haven't even really gotten that far yet.
And I saw your car too, your Ford Bronco that looked like a projectile went through the windshield.
Yeah, the windshield and then the rear view mirrors are broken off. It could have been worse on that car, so I'm a little bit thankful that it wasn't completely destroyed.
Now, photographer Evan's looking towards that roof of the shed, and all the debris he's pointing at came to this side of your house. And you said you were in a closet, but you were watching coverage earlier this morning. You want to describe how and why you were in shelter?
Yeah, so as I was telling you before, I was watching you guys on Fox 35, and I was very, very thankful to have your coverage because it was Brooks, you say, that was on this morning?
Yep.
And he named 2 streets that were right here, and that I knew those streets, and because he named those streets, I knew that it was close and it had touched down right by me, and I knew not to ignore this one. I think a lot of times we ignore these warnings or we see these things and we think, it's fine. But because he named those streets, I'm like, I better get in this closet. So I was very thankful for that and thankful to him. So I would definitely say, if you the weatherman talking about this, heed the warnings because there was no time. There was no time to get my dogs. There was no time to get anything. I had to run. By the time they knew it had touched down, I had to get right into the closet.
You got there because
I got there. Actually, exactly. So I'm very thankful.
Well, we can repair all of this. We can't repair lives, and the good thing is that you're here and you're okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to talk much more about the damage in this neighborhood coming up a little bit later. But Kelly, really appreciate you taking a second.
Thanks for being here. there. I appreciate it.
Guys will send things back to you.
Amazing scene out there. No, appreciate it. Well, after the tornado touched down in Longwood, it hopped I-4, and then this happened at our studios here in Lake Mary. This is our video from the Fox 35 cameras that caught the tornado hitting the weather deck. You can see the temperature gauge about to go down. There it goes. Then tree limbs flying around, sometimes pointing at the camera, then across and then away. Heavy rain moves in, and you can't see anything for a bit as it goes over the station. On the other side of our building, along I-4, you can see cars stopping on the interstate as the tornado hops across that pavement. And on our satellite on the side of the building, it falls to the ground as the wind whips the trees around our satellite images there, satellite receivers there. And while this was happening outside, we were on the air.
Yeah, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner was tracking it. Take a listen.
Debris right now on the roof. Debris is on the roof right now. We're hearing, you can see the debris flying there on the camera. This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately. Get under your desks, guys. Anchors under the desks. Everybody get on the desks.
Back with us tonight after an incredibly busy morning.
Brooks, first of all, phenomenal job to you and the team. But talk about a few scary moments there. There's debris everywhere.
And that's when we realized this wasn't just a matter of tracking a potential tornado. This thing was an actual tornado. Affecting us. You know, it's one thing to look at it on the screen and look at the radar, and it's another thing when it actually hits you, because you don't know your future in that situation. And of course, all the colleagues, we want to make sure everybody in the building was safe. Our natural inclination in news is to bring out a phone and take video of what's going on. But in this situation, we needed to get into a tornado safe room, which happens to be the studio. It's fortified in here, which is great. And that was the priority. But it sounded like there was a gang of angry golfers throwing golf clubs at the walls. That was the sticks hitting the walls, and then on the roof it was like they took the rest of with the bag onto the roof. So it was this constant kerplunking sound that was like nothing I've ever heard. It was just in the statistical potential of that happening while we're on air to our station at the time that we're actually looking at it on camera is so small. But I'm just glad that with the adrenaline rush of it all, that I was able to kind of, keep it together, because you got to hold back that feeling of, you heard me breathing and the elevated voice, and also be able to get that information to the viewer in an articulate way that's actionable and can hopefully save lives.
Yeah, and you heard the woman there that we just spoke with talking about that street level mapping that we have here. I mean, that helped you be able to pinpoint this, because people think this is the crew. We had so many people here who all had to rush in here as you're guiding them through it. That's got to be, I mean, you had so much going on in your mind, I just can't imagine there.
So we have the luck here and the planning to have some of the best weather equipment in the business. Fox Corporation has invested millions of dollars to give us the best radar, the best weather models, and really, and I'm not just saying it's the best team. So we had the whole team here working together. It was like the full team to bring this all together, and I was just sort of the mouthpiece, right, to make this all happen. But with the radar being real time and live, our station radar located in Bithlo, it allowed us to do what's called street level mapping. So you can zoom into each neighborhood, each cul-de-sac, name the names, and so people say, hey, I know that's Whispering Woods Boulevard. That's it.
Woman said that.
And it gives them that heads up that, not only is there a chance for a tornado, he just named a street down the street. I know this is serious. I'm going to take shelter. And it was great to see that she did, and that may have helped at least avoid injury or save a life.
Absolutely. Brooks, that's really something. And again, when you see the video beside us, it looks just like white noise until you see stuff spinning around on top of our building. So, Brooks, again, great job.
Thank you.
Bringing everything through the storm today. And Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laura Blanchard also joining us here in studio.
So, Laura, we just learned this tornado was actually on the ground for about 4 miles or so. Walk us through its path here.
Hey, Marlisa and John. So earlier this afternoon, there was a press conference and there was the estimate of how strong those winds were. So this is the initial survey from the National Weather Service in Melbourne. So let's break it down. So this is a confirmed EF2 tornado with 120 mile per hour winds expected from Wakaiwa Springs all the way through Lake Mary. This was on the ground for about 4 miles and the path width is about 300 yards. So let's actually zoom in to really get a pinpoint of that tornado path. Again, first touching down Wakaiwa Springs, and we'll run back that radar from this morning as well, passing over I-4, over our Fox 35 station, and finally starting to let up as we made our way towards Lake Mary. So that's ultimately what we saw earlier on. Then as we do take a look, this is the radar loop from earlier on this morning. This was an intense storm, and I'm so lucky that we did have Brooks Brooks, Jess, and TJ all on the air to walk you through it. But really, this storm hit very hard. And this, you'll see the initial tornado warning hit up in Wekiwa Springs. And then it turns into a confirmed tornado warning. And that is all thanks to our video and our live cams that were live on air to show the initial point of when the tornado first came confirmed over Lake Mary in our Fox 35 studio. We'll send it back to the desk.
Laurel, thanks so much. No one was seriously hurt during the tornado, but 2 people were in that home right there, destroyed during the tornado. The Red Cross is out there helping out right now. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth continues our live team coverage for us. So, Randy, a lot of people are picking up debris still at the 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, good evening to you, Marlisa. The damage really tells the story of what people are dealing with. I want to give you a wide shot across these backyards. You can see really just bits and pieces of things, half of a pet crate, half of a chair. And now the story is of recovery. You can see some of the guys on the roof putting out that tarp to protect this home. And as you mentioned, Red Cross is also working its way through this neighborhood to figure out what people need to be able to move forward. And as you can see in the story and live here, a lot of work is being done to get everything together and make sure that people are able to move forward. Red Cross says they're still trying to figure out how many people need help. Coming up new at 6, you'll hear more from those who were still shocked by what happened this morning. I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Randy. And Fox 35 News at 5 is just getting started. And we're going to get another look at that tornado damage here in Lake Mary in just a couple of minutes. Again, check out the video once again of the tornado touching down at our studios here at Fox 35. You can see a transformer blowing right there. The twister goes right over our building. Such an amazing scene. And you're watching Fox 35 News at 5 on this Monday afternoon.
You can see the debris flying there on the camera. This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately.
This is a confirmed tornado that has hit the station.
It's pushing over the 417 in Sanford. I hope you're in your safe place at this point.
Here in Lake Mary, you can see a lot of the damage.
Scary situation here. This truck completely turned over.
It is like hurricane condition.
Fox 35 News is #1 at 10.
And 11. Thank you for making us your choice.
For late news and weather, join us.
You can depend on Fox 35 News.
Fox 35 News is sponsored by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
Well, it was a very busy weather morning all across Central Florida. You know that, including here at the Fox 35 studios.
Yeah, Fox 35 News was on the air live the moment this morning's tornado hit our station. Take a look.
Wow, I got chills again.
Wow.
Probably because it was just right here. Right. This is where it all went down. Yeah. And Laura Blanchard joins us once again.
Laurel, thankfully the worst seems to be behind us. Looking ahead to tomorrow and the rest of the week, it's going to be nice.
Even as we take right now, you would have that there was a tornado that hit earlier.
What the people in this area live through right across I-4, especially where the houses are damaged. Other people in the area are like, well, this is a pretty nice day.
Yeah.
Beautiful sunshine this afternoon. So, wow, you just really never know.
And it's crazy because I live on the eastern side of I-4, and it's just a totally different world. It doesn't even seem like there's a tornado that hit, even though it went directly over I-4. It just shows how sporadic, especially in tornado coverage, that the tornado damage can actually be. So let's actually break it down because we got a lot of information earlier on this morning and even through the afternoon. This was a confirmed EF2 damage tornado, 120 mile per hour winds. This thing was on the ground for about 4 miles and the path width is about 300 yards long. So let's actually zoom in a little bit. This storm actually hit the ground and was officially a confirmed tornado in Wekiwa Springs, made its way over the I-4 corridor, over our station, and then actually lifted back up over the Lake Mary area. And again, some areas definitely seeing the damage out there this afternoon. Our hearts are with everyone that was affected by it. But again, some areas are in one street over. There was definitely a lot of tornado damage for sure. Here's a look at some of the radar that we were seeing earlier on this morning. You can see this radar image right here. This storm started rotating. It was actually canceled with that tornado warning. Another tornado warning was issued earlier on, and then you can see that color change from red to purple. This is because on air we were actually seeing this storm hit debris in And that's why the National Weather Service called this a confirmed tornado warning as of about 9:50 in the morning. But if you take a look outside right now, this is I Drive. Beautiful sunshine. It doesn't even look like we had severe weather earlier on this morning, but it is still very breezy. That front long gone, but we're still seeing 20-mile-per-hour winds here in Orlando. Things are still going to stay breezy through the rest of the evening, but that sunshine is sticking with us through evening as temperatures finally start to cool down, and there will be a little bit of a chill in the air as we head into tomorrow morning as that cooler air now just floods into the region. 52 degrees tonight in Orlando as you're headed out the door early tomorrow morning, feeling like 45 in Gainesville. So very chilly as you're headed out the door. Also going to be breezy as well as the last little bit of clouds finally push out of the region, and it's actually going to be very calm for the rest of the work week. Taking a look, we are going to be seeing that forecast very calm throughout the next couple of days, and overall temperatures rebounding back into the low 80s, and it feels like this has never happened as we take a look towards the end of the work week. Next chance for a couple of clouds and coming up later on in the weekend.
All right, still ahead here on Fox 35 News at 5, the latest on this wild scene in New Smyrna Beach, an alleged shootout between rival motorcycle gangs in broad daylight. And tonight, we're hearing the 911 calls that were made.
On your phone, on your TV, download the Fox 35 local app.
Developing now, the state attorney is deciding if the 17-year-old accused of threatening to shoot up Seminole High School will be charged as an adult.
Yeah, San Francisco. He posted a video with these realistic off guns claiming to have ties to street gangs. That teen could face charges of threatening terrorism if he's tried as an adult. He, by the way, is a student at Elevation High School in Seminole County.
This just in, we're hearing the 911 call from the alleged biker gang shooting 2 people in the hospital in Volusia County this weekend.
Probably not. They hauled after their motorcycles. I'm going to say it was Mongols, outlaws. I don't know. The biker gang.
New Smyrna Beach Police Department says one suspect is in custody, and they're still working to learn what led up to the shooting.
All right, coming up at 5:30, we continue our live team coverage of the aftermath of that tornado that cut right through Seminole County.
Now, scary moments for a truck driver who had just pulled over in a storm. The tornado flipped the truck on its side.
Are you ready for a new kind of newscast?
A show that covers stories only in Florida.
Florida Tonight.
Tonight at 7 on Fox 35.
Right now at 5:30, we continue to follow that trail of damage left behind after that EF2 tornado rocked Seminole County this morning.
Yeah, the tornado leveled one home here in Longwood and damaged several others. It even caused some damage to our Fox 35 studios we're standing in right now. Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Berggren joins us live where he's been assessing the damage in the Whispering Winds neighborhood. So Noah, give us an idea of what it looks like now.
Yeah, Marlisa, John, you guys like me have lived and worked in the Midwest before. That because many here in Central Florida have lived, and one thing is that this is not a Central Florida tornado. I mean, this is very much a scene that, you know, if you just dropped me here, I would think I was in Missouri or Illinois or Tennessee, not Sanford and Lake Mary, Florida. The number one cause of injury and death from tornadoes is flying debris. And our photographer Evan's going to zoom in on this. This brick, I went and talked to the homeowner because I was here this morning, and again when we just got here about an hour ago. This brick came from that house on there. It's not from where this fence is that I'm currently standing. So I want you to imagine coming through your living room at 120 miles an hour, which is what the updated speed was. Evan zooming in on the house down there, and that's the number one cause. Those weak tropical tornado hurricanes. So this one was more significant. People always have the need and the desire, and I get it, it's human nature. You want to be near a window, want to be near something to look outside and see the tornado coming. The reason why you don't want to do that is because, gosh forbid, like you're looking at now, a tornado hits your neighborhood, things like this that I'm holding up, this brick, are going to come through your window, can come through sheetrock, can go through glass. I mean, this came from 200 yards that way. And if you pan over here, you can see a lot of this debris is not from here. I've talked to both homeowners. Some of these lights and shingles, that's actually from across Markham Woods Road. There's a couple of pieces of wood here that are not actually from this neighborhood. Markham Woods Road's behind me where our live shot is. So that about a half a mile. So that's why it's a visual reminder. And if you take anything from this live picture, is that when there is a tornado warning, you got to put us on, the local media. That's why we're here. This is why we do our jobs, is we track storms, and this is what we do, is to protect you. But you would have never seen this coming. It was probably even rain-wrapped, this tornado, as it came through this neighborhood. And there's a lot of these homes that have projectiles that went through glass. It went through the sides of the houses. And thankfully, Kelly, if you caught us in the first half of this hour, Kelly was in her closet because she was watching the extended coverage this morning on Good Day Orlando with Brooks Garner, and Brooks told her to get into the innermost room. And had she been on that glass window where you're seeing now, we're panning back, that's the house we talked to first, Kelly Burt, she could have gotten significantly injured or worse from a projectile. So this is a visual reminder for the rest of y'all. The next time we have a hurricane come across the peninsula in Florida, it's not even if the tornado hits you, it's these projectiles of all of this through your house, and that's why you got to put as much between you side as possible. It's remarkable, guys. I've seen quite a few tornadoes in the fact that there's nobody injured from this, that's rare. That's rare to hear an EF2 tornado in the U.S. and nobody's injured. So some good news there. All this can rebuild, and it will be. But the lesson here from this live shot, John and Marlisa, is those projectiles that fly very far, even not directly in the tornado path. Reporting across the Markham Woods Road in Lake Mary, I'm meteorologist Noah Berggren. Back to you guys.
Especially when it jumped I-4 as well. Thanks, Noah. All right, other people who live in that same neighborhood Noah was in were able to escape with just some minor damage. But of course, they're still cleaning up tonight.
And Fox 35's Hannah McKenzie continues our live team coverage from inside that neighborhood. So, Hannah, what are you seeing where you are?
Well, Marlisa, John, the damage quite extensive. Really, everywhere you look, you find something that just shouldn't be there. Case in point right here, we've got someone's pool enclosure just wrapped into the tree limbs. And as you can probably hear behind me, though, those chainsaws already blaring just hours after this EF2 tornado tore through this Longwood neighborhood. Already underway to clean up. Most of that work has to do with tree work. We've got all those companies with the big chainsaws, the big heavy machinery taking care of these trees. Most of them, the oaks. I just spoke with the homeowner at this house. He told me this tree is 150 years old. And what you're actually looking at, the tree, that's just a branch. The trunk was already taken away by a crew of about 5 trucks earlier this morning. I do want to head further down the street to show you one of the worst damaged homes in the neighborhood. Second floor right there. You can eerily see a mattress hanging off the side. This is the result of 115 mile per hour peaked winds today. And within the last hour, I did get a chance to catch up with that family. They tell me their relative is doing okay. He was just obviously very scared when the tornado touched down. A lot of work happening here in this Longwood neighborhood, and this will continue throughout the night. I have been speaking with residents. First on their mind, they just say, thank God they are alive. Reporting live in Seminole County, Hannah McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
Unbelievable. Hannah, thanks so much. The path that tornado took was right down Sky Live Drive here in Lake Mary, where the Fox 35 News studios are.
And our business neighbors are also dealing with some damage at this hour. Our live team coverage continues now with Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist TJ Springer. So TJ, you actually got to look around the neighborhood here. You're next door. What kind of damage are they looking at?
Hi guys. Yeah, this has been the scene that has really been unfolding since that earlier on this morning. We're just south of the Fox 35 studios, and you can see what's behind me, a lot of tree debris. And this has been the story all morning long into the afternoon. Thankfully, it's brightened up, and now the cleanup process can begin. But behind me, this tree like a toothpick from the strong wind in excess of 100 miles. The poor vehicle here, the owner of this, hopefully has seen this, but you can see the windshield completely smashed in the rear, and I'm sure a lot more damage. There are a couple of other behind me, you can see between the two that were snapped right in half. I'm sure these are elderly trees. I'm sure I've been here for quite a long time, and they were just ripped apart with the help of that strong wind. Now I want to take you this way. We can see some more debris here in the parking lot. This, after speaking with the owner earlier on this morning, was likely some industrial debris from an HVAC unit that was torn off the roof. So tree debris from the strength of the wind getting torn off of roofs here on Drive. And maybe the most notable thing that we saw, this camper here was completely toppled, and I can only imagine the inside looks much worse. That's always why we say you don't want to be in mobile homes, you don't want to be in campers, you don't want to be in your vehicles. You want to be inside a safe, sturdy building. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can, because Mother Nature means business, and we certainly felt the wrath of it here as this tornado tore through Wekiva Springs, Lake Mary, and the Longwood area here in Seminole County as the morning unfolded. So at least now, with the bright blue sky, we're not going to have any issues as we continue to pick up the pieces after this devastating tornado. Guys, I'll send it back over to you in the studio.
Wow. TJ, thank you so much. As the tornado moved through Lake Mary, a semi-truck that was in the path flipped over on its side. The driver was inside at the time, taking a nap with his dog. Fox 35's Chris Lindsay spoke with him after the terrifying ordeal.
Also, a Fox 35 News update today. The city of Orlando canceling plans to open a large homeless shelter in the Soto district.
People living in that area had spoken out against it. Now the mayor says the spot that was chosen is not feasible. Fox 35's Kelsey Cairns explains why the mayor is calling off the plans.
Thanks, Kelsey. Next year on Fox 35 News at 5, some major attractions at Disney about to get a big makeover.
We'll show you what's new and when these changes will begin. But first, saving you a few coins on the Fox 35 Pump Patrol. Gas is $3.05 at the BP on South Dillard Street in Winter Garden. Don't go too far. We will be right back.
Tonight's primetime lineup on Fox 35 is sponsored by City Kia, Central Florida's favorite dealer.
Inside Disney today, we're getting our first look at some major expansion of the theme parks.
It includes a change to a ride in a galaxy far, far away. Fox 35's Morgan Parrish shows us the new changes.
Fox 35 is the #1 late news.
We are following two big breaking stories.
We are in western Jackson County.
We spent all day calling, emailing, texting.
You could get addicted and you could die. He was my son.
Depend on Fox 35 News. Fox 35's Extracted Excitement. Here's your chance to win a brand new smartwatch.
Well, one of the biggest car shows in the world took place this weekend right here in Florida. The annual auction brings nearly 200 luxury cars to Amelia Island. These are amazing. Take a look at this. 160 cars, in fact, this year worth about $6 million were up for auction. The market for these classic vehicles has slowed just a bit over the past few years, but collectors still shell out big bucks for these very rare cars.
They're a great store of value. They tend to kind of hold their value or go up over time. And for those people who park significant amounts of their resources in them, it tends to be a pretty happy day over time.
So, Marlise, if you're thinking about a birthday, the red one. More than 25,000 people estimate that one right there. That's the one I want. It looked like Tom said. 25,000 to have attended this weekend's event. We are working on a lot of stories coming up on the Fox 35 News Edge at 6.
We begin with Fox 35's Noah Berggren.
Yeah, Marlise, so we continue to track the aftermath of this afternoon and the morning's tornado cleanup. We've got new video and new information for you coming up in a few minutes.
And as Noah said, we are continuing to follow recovery. Just got some new information from Red Cross. I'll have that for you new at 6. Plus, other angles of the long road for recovery for some people living in this community.
Fox 35 News is sponsored by Grills Lakeside.